Good evening and welcome. Welcome to this final session of Reawaken the Girl Within. Happy International Day of the Girl. And this is our final session, definitely saving the best for last. You're really going to enjoy this spectacular session where we are going to be talking about entrepreneurship in the digital generation. So, as we celebrate our International Day of the Girl today on Monday, 11th of October, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about International Day of the Girl. It was created by the United Nations to celebrate the achievements and the potential of girls. The day aims to highlight and to address the needs and the challenges that girls face while promoting girls' empowerment and the fulfillment of their human rights. And therefore, it is only fitting to bring on some girls and to celebrate their achievements and to hear their journeys and their stories today on International Day of the Girl. So the theme for 2021 is Digital Generation, Our Generation. And this is really about growing up in the digital generation, growing up with the internet, with access to all the technology and how it has shaped us. So do check out our previous sessions and learn more. This evening, you are in for an incredible treat. We will be featuring two very special guests, inspiring young entrepreneurs from Malaysia's first entrepreneurial school, together with the founder of Dwi Emas. Anne Tham founded Dwi Emas, Malaysia's first entrepreneurial school, and she's also the chapter president of the Women of Global Change. So I'd like to thank Anne for joining us tonight. Welcome, Anne.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Laura. Good evening, everybody. Glad to be here to be part of this event.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about your journey with Dwi Emas and teaching girls in today's digital generation.
Okay, I'm very used to teaching girls because I have two daughters. Yeah, they're grown now, of course. But when I started running my own business, which was from my own home, uh, with 4,000 ringgit in my dining table, around my dining table, I did it for my daughters because I was looking for something that wasn't out there in the way education should be serving children. So that grew. And the beauty of it all was over time, I realized that I'm in actually a women's business. I deal with a lot of mothers, right? Education primarily becomes the what do you call the area for mothers to be in charge of family. Yeah. So that was how and I realized that a lot of women actually do stop work in order to care for the family. Many of them highly educated, very well trained in terms of their in the industries. So and I realized that we do lose a lot of amazing talent because you know women choose to stop working. But what happened, I realized, was this: when girls start businesses young or are exposed to businesses young, like my two daughters, for instance, they were 7 and 9 when I started. So they were part and parcel of my business, um, and like helping me with phone calls and collection of fees and, dealing with parents and also, of course, the classes, they were part of it. But what happened ultimately was when I needed to start the school, before we started the school, we had a smaller business. And then when we wanted to start the school, they were right on board. And one of them was 15, the other was, no, one was 17, the other was 19 at the time. They were equal partners. They helped me right from the beginning. But what I realized over time is when you get the kids really young and they are, to them, girls, for girls who start young, there is no boundary. To them, it's not about, I've got to take care of my family and therefore I shouldn't be doing this. It's about, you know what, I can take care of my family and I can do this too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that experience of inculcating that from a young age means that they're already learning that this is normal. This is natural. You don't have to set aside one thing or another as you pursue that business. So I think that's very exciting. And you have two of the students who have been part of your school. Could you tell us a little bit about them before we bring them on?
Okay, both were surprises, right? Because one with the younger one, yeah, we were, we set it up in the school, the entrepreneur school, right? We were targeting, okay, you know what, one of the coolest thing is if we can get students at secondary level to run their own businesses, so we can teach them entrepreneurship, and if they're running it, they're going to get real world experience with it, right? So lo and behold, it happened. The secondary students started businesses, but lo and behold, you have this little child at the age of 7 wanting to start her own business. So that one I will let you hear directly from her, okay? But it's more that she's gone on to do amazing things. Ask her a little bit about the time when she was 8, she was speaking in front of 1,000 educators on entrepreneurship in Finland during Slash, one of the largest startup events. Is it startup? Yeah, events in in the world actually.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, and now she's got a business, and she's also got her online TV channel. And the other one, she started at 14 years old. She's now in college, and she can tell her story from there. Okay, I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Fantastic. And Anne, we do have some people who are very excited to have you. So Ivy says hi, and she always loves to hear you speak. So just thought I'd share as that people are watching and listening and excited to have you. So I'm going without further ado. I am going to introduce the girls. I'd love to bring on Shalija, good evening.
Good
Thanks for
evening,
being here. How are you
Matilda.
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am
Hello,
good. Thank
everyone.
you for being here. And let me
Thank you so
bring
much for
on,
having me today.
I am very excited to have you and to celebrate you and celebrate International Day of the Girl together. I think that's fantastic. Let me just read your bio for maybe people who don't know about you. So Shailija is an entrepreneur, author, philanthropist, and international speaker. She started Bloom Teas in 2016 when she was just 7 years old, and followed it a year later with Little Hands, Big Hearts, her charity organization by kids for kids. And at 12 years old, she is now finishing up her first novel, a fantasy novel based on Greek mythology, and she's preparing to launch her online talk show, Toothless CEO Sparks, on Gen TV next year. And after her IGCSE, she is planning on attending Oxford University to study zoology, specializing in big cats. So that is fantastic. Thank you so much for being here, Shalija. And maybe let me just bring on Zichin as well. Um, Hello, hi, thanks for joining
Hi.
us. Fantastic. So let me tell them a little bit about you, and then we'll get into you guys sharing because really the stage is yours tonight. So Zerchin is a college student who has been doing business since she was 14 years old. Currently, she's the founder of Choco Bear, and her team consists of approximately 30 people. Her goal in running a business is to help more people by providing them with a place to work or an opportunity to showcase themselves. Thank you so much, Zichin and Shalija, for joining us and for creating this incredible community where that can really cultivate young women and help them along their journey. So maybe let's start with Shalija. Could you tell us a bit about yourself and your business? So, the bio kind of gives us a little bit of a glimpse, but it would be great to hear about what drives you and what inspires you with your
Okay, sure.
business.
So, my name is Shailaja, and I am 12 years old. I love biology and history. I play the drums, build Legos. I enjoy writing, singing, acting, and hanging out with my dogs and ducks. I am also the founder of my own company. I'm the CEO and creator of Bloom, and we do feel-good teas. Our teas are made of whole leaf flowers and herbs, but no tea leaves, so they're enjoyable for everyone. even kids. I have two teas called Sunshine and Moonbeam. Sunshine helps you wake up in the morning and keeps you energized throughout the day. Moonbeam helps you relax and wind down after a long day and helps you go to sleep at night. Our teas are in cafes and restaurants all over the Klang Valley, and we are hoping to expand outside of the Klang Valley soon. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And Zachin, tell us about your business. I know you started earlier, and currently you're doing choco bears. But could you tell us
Yeah.
just a little bit about your journey?
Um, my name is Suchin. I'm 18 years old this year. I'm currently a DBA student from Sami College. I've been doing business since the age of 13. I'm the founder of Choco Bear. This isn't my first business, but Choco Bear is my most successful business at this point in time. Chocolate is a favorite of many, and there's a trend on Instagram where many people are selling chocolate jar and have different toppings. The craze of these chocolate jars started when a brand called Chocolove made them famous. I thought about selling something similar based on this trend. I discovered someone who shared the same vision as me, and we decided to collaborate to launch Choco Bear. We have approximately 30 people in our team, and we understood that several of our team members had no prior experience selling things on social media. So we arranged a training for them on how to post story properly, edit videos, pictures, and how to communicate well with customers and more training. We implemented this for our agents because we wanted to ensure that everyone who joined us learned something new for free. The first product in our menu definitely will be Chocoja. The chocolate crunch is incredibly crispy, and the chocolate sauce that goes with it isn't too sweet as well. We looked for online suppliers and communicated with them to offer our consumers the greatest pricing to in order to make the choco jars suitable for all age groups. We had a little chat with the supplier concerning about the recipe to make sure it's not too sweet so that the sweetness of the choco jar is suitable and acceptable for everyone. So after 3 months of selling choco jar, we are now introducing choco dip, a biscuit dip with chocolate sauce. We chose to include famous Amos cookies in our new product after conducting a brief survey among our customers. We also had Choco Munch, which has a variety of chocolate sauce to dip in marshmallow. That's all we have to offer to the public for now, though we are now working on introducing new exciting products. That's all. Thank you.
That is very exciting, and it sounds absolutely delicious. As a chocolate lover myself, I was just hearing all the magic words like crunchy and like ooh, and also not too sweet. So it's for the more health conscious. I'm sure that will be very helpful. So thanks for telling us a little bit about that. So maybe Anne, if you could tell us about how has the digital world changed the landscape in education and entrepreneurship, given that you have founded this school and created this space to nurture entrepreneurship.
Oh, you have no idea how much it changed. Yeah. I think the biggest one was before the pandemic in particular, right? The digital world, internet, YouTube, everything was a waste of time to a lot of parents, and especially because it is in competition with books that the kids are supposed to get to, their homework and everything. So for many parents, it really was taking them away from their studies. It was competition for their children's attention and time, right? And then what happens is when the pandemic happened, everything went online, and then the parents would say, but they're spending too much time in front of the screen. And but the thing is, whether you see, kids love the screen, whether you like it or not. The minute they are done with their school and so on, they are on the screen. However, it is not having the school, what goes on in the school, on screen that will get them hooked. The kids get bored with that, so there's a lot of this I guess like as a parent, it's very confusing, right? So on one hand, you don't want the kids to spend time, and then with the pandemic, they're on there a lot of time. But then the way they deal with their learning, which is if you're talking about a school going online, then it's like no, that's not what they want to watch. Then you're up against edutainment, learning, or all the other entertainment videos and whatever you get online. You're up against that. And at the end of the day, it is really not about what we want to show the kids, is what they want to watch. So they learn a lot, but what they want to do is they want to pick what they want to learn. And they can stay on screen uh, hour after hour if you don't stop them, especially if they find the things that they like. So this is the issue with the digital world going into education, right? Or education going into the digital world. And the last bit is this, where entrepreneurship is concerned. Yeah, it is a leveler. It leveled the playing field, because and then the true nature of entrepreneurship, is very evident, because entrepreneurship does not care who you are. It doesn't care whether you're a man or a woman, whatever age you are, right? And also the color of the skin, right? If you have a good product, people are going to take it. All right, they're going to buy from you. So it literally leveled up. And whether you have money, no money, or whether you're a large corporation or you're running it from home, you literally have access to market. So those are the two biggest things. And I want to say a little bit about Zichin's Toko jar. There should be a label that says danger. The danger sign should say, once you start, you can't stop. That was what we bought her Toko jar. That was how we found ourselves. Oh my God, this is really good. We can't stop eating.
So, but I think it's designed to be enjoyed, and I think that is really, as you said, that's really the key to business, is creating something that people love, that people can't stop eating, and that's how you keep getting more and more customers to keep enjoying your product. So, great job, Ziching, in terms of creating that. And maybe could you share, Ziching, how has entrepreneurship changed you and shaped you?
Um, Actually, both of my education and entrepreneurship uh, did help with improving my language and also made me grow up to be a better person. My business had made me realize that I should be facing the problem and not escape it. It has made me more mature and made me a better person. Actually, I used to speak English. No, I used to speak Chinese only because my English was actually very, very bad. So actually, thanks to my education and business, it helped me improve a lot. And now I can speak English fluently, like fluently. Basically, I learned from the mistake I made while communicating with customers while they order or when I introduce the products by posting it on my Instagram. For education, I'm studying diploma business administration, and most of the course I'm taking do help with my business a lot as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. Like, I think the fact that we are able to even have this conversation, and that you had hands-on experience, actually getting feedback and interacting, because oftentimes people learn a language and then they don't really get to practice it. Whereas you've actually, in talking to your customers, you've had the opportunity to really share and get live feedback on your learning. So that's amazing. Great job. And Shalija, for yourself, how has entrepreneurship helped and shaped you, just to hear it from your perspective as well?
Going to school at Dwi Emas didn't just help me better bloom. They're actually the reason I started it in the first place. Because when I was 7 years old, Dwi Emas had a bazaar to encourage students of all ages to take up a booth and sell whatever they want. I took the opportunity, and in just 2 weeks, I created 2 really fun teas and an entire brand. On the day of the bazaar, we sold out all 100 jars we had packaged in 4 hours. And that was pretty much where Bloom was born. Over the years at Dwi Emas, I've learned so much about growing a company, and it has helped me get Bloom to where we are today. Entrepreneurship as a whole has become a part of me, and I love seeing how I can take Bloom further.
Amazing to see. Amazing. Thank you so much. So, I guess the question is, how can parents nurture the entrepreneurial spirit in themselves and their children? So, and I suppose one way is sending them to your school. Um, but in addition to that, what are some other ways that parents can help to nurture this entrepreneurial spirit?
Okay, that one I can share with you from my experience with my own daughters. Yeah. And I realized that when they're young, it's not to hold back the things that they're interested in. What you want to do is to get them to have as much exposure as you can into all sorts of other things that they may have a fancy to, and it's okay if they do change and find something else they're interested in. It's okay. And the more they experience different things out there, you'll find that there'll come a point where they know what they prefer, the things that excite them, and that was what happened with the girls. I never stopped them, yeah. Even if it's online, the thing was I never made it that going online was a bad thing. But what I did was the minute if I want to get them off the computer, I got them to do something else that was interesting, not to ask them to study. Yeah, this is where a lot of parents they get the kids to study. So no, you want to get them interested in something else, whether it's to go to the pet shop and have a look at the new pets they have, and so on. It's just to move them away from it. Yeah. So the girls were very, very interested in all sorts of things. And I realized that this is one of the things parents should understand. And because ultimately, what the kids want to do, um, it is based on the things that interest them. Now, even if you can get them to choose a course of study that may not be interested, that they may not be interested in, but you can get them to take it. By the end of the day, I've seen so many where when they came out, they will gravitate towards the industry that they really like. you know I mean, some is more like, okay, if they're interested in the technology stuff, they might join a technology company, right? Whether they're an accountant or they're doing marketing, and or directly, some of them they just go straight in and they take up courses in that is linked to that area, into that the things that the hobbies or the things they're interested in. Yeah. So like craft, for instance, so a lot of people have actually created great businesses out of that interest. But you hear people talk about, if you do the things that you love, you will never have to work, or you have you have a business, or you work in something that really is your passion. Then you don't have to work a day in your life, right? Now that one has a little bit more for parents to understand. Now, if there's something they like or a hobby, you need that there has to be talent, and the third component is the market who would pay for whatever they're doing. But I just want parents to understand, if they don't have talent, not enough. Like, say if they want to sing, right? But maybe their ability may not be to the point where it's like world class, and they can. But there's nothing stopping them from having their own sound. Okay. Or they can still be involved in the industry without singing. And then, at the end of the day, they can sing along with, like, because I know of a friend's a father who loved to sing and write music, and he ended up writing music for some songs for some of the most famous people in his country. Okay, so you can still be involved with that industry, without having the ability. And likewise, if you like medicine, or medical field, but not the sort who will sit and study to be a medical doctor, well, you know what? Own a hospital. you know. So the point is to be so open for parents, yeah.
Mm,
And the other thing is the energy of the children, right?
mm,
Unfortunately, most schools want them to sit down, keep quiet, and all that. So their energy is completely controlled, right, all the way up to high school. So most are expected to sit still. Now that energy is one of the most expensive commodity that your child has,
mm,
because when they come out and they speak with energy, it's called passion. And investors and people who sometimes they look at the owner and they see the owner speak with passion. Where it comes from is energy. Okay, so those are some of the things that I would really really encourage the parents to make sure the kids energy and spirit is being nurtured, because it has a lot of value when they graduate.
mm.
Okay.
And I love what you say, especially as you talk about finding that balance between um, I think earlier you mentioned giving them access to the internet, whereas like you can actually use it to make money, but also you also want to create an environment where your children are well rounded. So you, as you said, you're not just focused on schoolwork, but you're developing their character, you're developing their strengths, and that actually that develops skills that will help them to actually be more successful in other areas of life, because we probably know people who are very very good students, and so they know how to cram and to study for an exam, but that doesn't necessarily translate to success in other areas of life. So I love what you said about being able from a young age, giving them that ability to harness their passion and their energy, so that they're actually able to learn to focus that into a certain direction. So, as you said, you may not be able to express it in one way, but how can you creatively encourage and nurture that so that they find a way to really follow their passion, even though it may not be directly aligned with whatever it is that they are doing. Um, so as so I one of the things as well, maybe I would like to hear from the girls is, who are your role models and the mentors that you follow in their footsteps. um Shailija, would you like to go first? Who are your role models?
Okay, sure. So, as you mentioned earlier, one of my biggest dreams is to become a zoologist, and one of my biggest role models is Jane Goodall, a primatologist and worldwide conservationist. I really admire her passion for animals, her drive to do more for the planet, and her willingness to share her wisdom with the world. She founded, a couple of years back, she founded a company called Roots and Shoots to educate children on um, basically doing their part to save the planet and making daily choices that can contribute to them growing up and knowing more about, being more aware about the things that are happening around us in our home, our world, our earth. Um, I have always loved reading. When I started reading J.K. Rowling and Rick Riordan's work a few years ago, it made me feel like the stories were coming to life more and more with every word I read. And I loved that so much. So writing has always been, reading and writing have always been like a part of me, but writing before this I've never actually explored before. And recently, because I've started to write my own book as well, reading these amazing authors' works has helped me in developing my stories and characters a lot. Last but not least, I look up to teacher Anne. She's worked so hard over the years to bring her dream to life and give us students at Dwi Emas, Emas, and PTS the best education. The way she has created these schools with such love and hard work that she's put in has always inspired me to do more for my business. Education at school is approached from a child-led perspective, which means that what we need as kids is as equally important as all the things adults want.
I didn't tell her to say that. Perfect. Perfect. That's exactly the intention. Thank you.
That's wonderful. And Shalaija, I just thought as you were talking about Jane and like some of the work that she did, could you tell us maybe a little bit about your charity organization? So you started a business as well as a charity. It would be great to hear about, by kids and for kids.
Okay, sure. So a year after I started Bloom, I founded a charity called Little Hands Big Hearts. And I give 10% of all Bloom's proceeds to it. So if we go to a bazaar or we make any income at all, 10% of it is immediately given to Little Hands Big Hearts. I'm very lucky to have a family that loves me and gives me everything I could ever need, but there are many children out there who are not as lucky. So Little Hands Big Hearts helps less fortunate children buy school supplies like books and stationery, as well as pay for school-related expenses like school fees and bus fare. So recently during the MCO, we noticed that a lot of families a lot of parents had lost jobs, and they weren't able to make ends meet and put food on the table to feed their children. So we created a program called #Feed Someone Today. And what we did was I made a video highlighting their plight, put it on Instagram, and encouraged people to donate. And with the money that we received, we bought food and other supplies for these underprivileged families, and we put them into packages and we sent them to these families. And over the course of the entire MCO, we managed to help 95 families in total, and we even managed to reach some families in Nepal and Indonesia.
That is incredible. I think not just I love how you have a local footprint, but also an international footprint with your charity and the organization. Thanks for sharing that. I'd like to bring up Zerchin and find out as well. Who are your role models and mentors?
Actually, my main goal in running business is to help more and more people by providing them a job or an opportunity to showcase their talents. I get extremely inspired by helping people who aren't given the opportunity but are immensely talented. I love to be the one who is able to provide opportunities for the future of society. Who knows, they might be the next big thing. I might play a small part for now, but everyone has to start from nothing. One thing that has been concerning me is that nowadays it's unfair between women and men. Um, People have always been thinking that women should stay at home to take care of their children and should not come up to work. But I think otherwise, because women can also be talented in their own ways. They have the rights to do what they wish to do, and I think they shouldn't be giving up on their dreams just because of their family. I hope to be the one who to inspire women that have dreams of their own. Lastly, people who made me want to follow their footsteps actually were my grandpa and also teacher Anne, because they are also the ones who love to help people as well. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And I love how, as you said, Anne, you didn't tell them to, talk about how much you're an inspiration. And I think that really just shows how much you are kind of walking the talk and really embodying the vision that, as an entrepreneur, as a woman, actually living out that example. And I know even for myself, that's something that I have long admired about you, your ability to just both champion women and also just the way that you've run your business and grown it over the years really is inspiring. So you're definitely one of my role models as well. So what would you say, Anne, to someone who is maybe afraid of pursuing their dreams? And I think especially as, we are talking about parents maybe who have their own dreams and they also want to nurture their children's entrepreneurial spirit, but they themselves are too afraid to get started. But I think, as you said, that that demonstration, and actually seeing examples of people going out and doing this is important. So what would you say to someone who, is afraid to pursue their dreams and fail?
Actually, there are two things, but I just want to also share something that this lady who owned a beauty, it was a hair salon, right? But they also had a facial component to it, yeah, which was very close to my house. I don't know where they are now, because they were there for maybe about 2 years, and then after that, I've not seen where they went to. And if I could get to her, I would really want to tell her what she said got me started. And if this would help someone, then I'll pass it on here. I was just sharing with her that I was thinking of doing English classes, right? Because when I was teaching in the college, and I realized that the children's English was just horrific, and there's no way you can learn a language for 11 years and be bad at it. You cannot. It doesn't even make sense, right? And here we are, working with the students and making them come for English classes, and within 6 months to fix something that 11 years could not. So she told me, she said, you don't have to worry about the entire pie. All you need is a small slice of the pie. I was like, huh, I think I can do a small slice, right? And I kind of calculate the number of students I felt was in Subang Jaya at that time. And I think there are easily about 20,000 based on the number of schools. And I said, if I could even get, I don't even need 1%, which is 200, right? I said, even if I get 50, I think I can get started. So that was what happened. I just started. So I'll come to that. That's actually my second point. The first one is actually have a baseline. Have a baseline means that, make sure you still have your job, or you're doing something that will take care of all your obligations. Because the minute you don't have that, and you'll get very stressed out. You want to start something that you want to do, and it's like your dream and so on. So my dream was actually to get this out to kids, the English classes, and that advice got me started. But I was still teaching in the college. So my baseline was still there, and whatever I did with the classes, they were extras. Okay, and having the extras was really nice. But then I didn't have to worry about the fact that, if I resign from my job and I started doing this, then my job will last as long as the money that I have on standby. And look, running a business, there's nothing that will can guarantee you that you will get to your target. Whatever you budget, your projections and all that you will hit it when you want to hit it. Know it. And therefore, you need to have that baseline. And then you can do something that really, really is your passion, right? You never know where it can go, because look at what the girls have done, right? They have the baseline. The baseline is they're still in school. There's nothing to lose. So whatever they do, anything they do is an extra. All right. So there's no fear of, oh my God, what if I run out of cash and things like this, right? And then the second one, I really would advise is just get started, okay? And because the girls just got started, they don't know it, because they are sources of inspiration for me as well. Watching how they've taken on the courage to take on the things that we threw at them, and taking on, look, who do they have to follow, right? It's definitely not in the textbook, all right? And yet they have taken it on and done this so successfully. Now, Zachin has a wonderful story, because we checked in with her, and maybe you can ask her to talk a little bit about it. Her first business, she started with 60 ringgit, and she ended up making 40,000. Okay, that was the first business. The second business, she started with 490, and yeah, I'm going to leave it a blank there, and you find out from her how much she made. Okay, with the second business. So, and that is if that's not I don't know what is. And then little Shalaja, she started it, right, 7 years old. Lo and behold, we got invited to Finland, and she got to speak in front of 1,000 educators, and they were from all over the world. And she was talking about entrepreneurship. I tell you, people were so blown away because it was so inspiring. So get them to tell that story. Yeah.
Yes, I would love to hear those stories. Maybe we can start with Zeching to hear about how you started, because that's incredible. As you said, that first business, and the fact that you've even had a foundation, being able to iterate, to learn from one thing, and then to start again and take those lessons and do it again. I think is incredible. So, could tell us a little bit about that.
Um, Actually, I started when I was 30 years old, and my first business actually was selling squishies because during that time, there's a trend on Instagram. Is like a squishy is kind of famous during that time, and I used like around 60 ringgit to start the business, and I earned around 30K at the end in a year. So the second business, which is the business that I'm doing now, is I started it like this year in January, and I used like around 490 ringgit to start this business, and I earned around 10. I earned around 100K in just 10 months. Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible. Talk about ROI. That is a very, very, very good investment. And also, I love how you were able to see the opportunity in the market, and then you were able to leverage that and be able to actually launch a business and do it. So I think that's very, very inspiring. Thanks for sharing. I'd like to ask Shalija about her experience being invited and speaking in Finland.
So, on the day my mom, I came back from school and my mom sat me down and she told me that teacher Anne would be going to Finland in a few months to speak at Slush, and I was naturally very excited. Um, and then she said she'll be also be taking one student with her, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And she said they want to choose you, and I felt so excited because I had no idea what was going to happen, but I knew that I was going to get to share my business with others. And my biggest goal for Bloom was to inspire other people, even if it's adults who don't have a business. I've always wanted to just inspire people to do what they love. And what I loved was entrepreneurship, and I loved Bloom. So when I went up on stage that day, it was at first I felt nervous, but then after a while I was just completely relaxed because I realized that this is natural for me. I feel good standing on a stage and talking to people. It comes naturally to me. So when I did that in front of so many people, it made me feel really good because I knew that I was getting my business out there even more, because this is a worldwide conference, and I think it was one of the best moments for Bloom ever. And at the time I was only 8, so I felt really lucky to have started that young. Because if I hadn't started Bloom when I was 7, I wouldn't be where I am today. Definitely not.
I think that is incredible. Just hearing, like you said, as you started at 7, and then you were speaking to this incredible crowd at 8. So, did you get any preparation and any training to be able to do that?
I didn't really do any training. Me and my mom, we would sit down after school every day after I'd come home, and we'd talk and we'd talk and we'd talk. And so we created a script, we created a presentation, and I went through the script a couple of times, and then it kind of just, because I loved Bloom so much and I felt so excited to do this, my heart was in it. So I didn't really have to put too much effort into memorizing, actually, because I had the information in my head already. Because when I go to bazaars, my favorite thing to do is talk to people. So if a customer comes and they'll ask me, what is this? And I'll start this like full-on explanation because I love to talk. So it I already knew what I was going to say, I just needed to put it into the right words. So making the script with my mom was really fun, because I got to write not just about Bloom, but also about Little Head Big Heart. And yeah, it was a really fun experience for me. So yeah.
It sounds like that's the passion and the energy that
Yes.
Anne was talking about, being
Yes.
able to channel that. So, what would you say to maybe other, other girls out there to inspire them to take steps towards their goals and their dreams? You started out so young, and maybe they are also thinking like, I want to do something. What would you say to them?
First of all, my advice is to find a mentor or someone who you really trust to help guide you, whom you can learn from and bounce ideas off of. While we're young, we need lots of wisdom and guidance to help us chart clear paths to what we are looking to achieve. Because sometimes we have the idea and we know what we want to do, but we don't know how we're going to do it because we're too young and we still have a lot to learn. Second, stop at nothing to achieve what you want to do. Don't let anyone or anything get in your way. Be yourself and shine bright.
Thank you, Shailaja. So I would like to bring Sachin on to share as well. Maybe what advice would you give to other girls out there?
Um, For me, my advice would be do whatever you like and turn them into a business. For example, if you like to cook, there's a different ways to turn it into a business. You can teach people how to cook by creating exciting videos. You can even post the foods you've created in social media. And if people are interested, who knows, they may order and that leads to an income as well. Yeah.
Thank you. That is fantastic. I think that's great advice. So really, follow your dreams, find a way to make money off it. And what's the worst thing that could happen, right? All you need to do is take that next step and figure that out. So thank you, ladies, so much for coming on, for celebrating our International Day of the Girl together. So as we begin to wrap up, I'll just like to maybe hear from you, like maybe if people want to connect with you or contact you, maybe support your business. Where can they find you? Maybe we can start with Ziching.
People generally contact me through my Instagram DMs, WhatsApp, and WeChat. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. And Shailija.
You can contact me on Instagram or Facebook at Toothless CEO. That's TOOTHLESSCEO. And also on my website, toothlessceo.com. Same spelling.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. So I guess you had less teeth when you started.
Yes, that was why the whole Toothless CEO thing came. That was my tagline. Everybody called me the Toothless CEO. It was my favorite, almost my favorite part of having Bloom. So
That's fantastic. So the comments are coming in that both of you young women are so inspiring, and people absolutely love you. So thanks so much for being here and for sharing your journey and your story. I think you have done incredible stuff, and I know maybe for you it seems normal. You're out there, you're running your business, you're like, this is just what I do, but I think it is absolutely incredible and really inspiring. And so we do appreciate you coming and sharing what you're doing and kind of raising the level, so that for anyone out there who feels like, am I too young? I'm too afraid to do this. Really, what you've shared is, just go out there and do it. And you never know where you'll end up. You might end up doing something absolutely incredible, just like both of you. So, Anne, where can people contact you?
Before I talk about that, I need to share something that I think would interest the audience very much. For Zerchin, because she talked about how her English was not strong, because she was writing for Instagram for her business, she was communicating, right, in English, and it just got better and better. So what happened was that her acquiring the language in school became real for her because there was a real use. And we could see within a space, because she joined us about year 7, within a space of a year plus, already she was starting to get very comfortable with the language. Now, I've been teaching English for a long time. You have no idea how some kids, even some young people, all the way up to from 5 and beyond, the English is still not strong. But because she was using it for real. So this is one thing that I really have to put out there. And little Shailaja, she didn't share this. Komi and I, we were there, right? In the audience. And when she was done, we both were blown away because what? She had a standing ovation. The whole hall stood up. We were like, wow, this is like she's 8. So this is another thing. We generally didn't share so much about that, because I don't think she shares it when she talks about her experience there. But we were there. I'll be very happy to share for her. Yeah. And yes, I can be found on LinkedIn, Anne Tham. You'll find me there. And Facebook, Teacher Anne Tham. Okay.
Thank you. So all the comments are coming in. So people are just really inspired. So, really proud of you. What a panel of inspiring ladies. Like, well done. So I think it's a thank you so much for being here and celebrating again, once again, International Day of the Girl with us. So I think just because this summit, this series of interviews is hosted by Women in Leadership Limelight. So part of our vision is really raising up women into leadership, and its leadership starts at every age and every stage. It's not just when you finally get to the top of the mountain, that's when you become a leader. So we have this success path that we talk about, embracing your path. So that means having your self-awareness, having grit, having resilience. The next stage is enhancing your skills. So what is it that you can be really good at, and then getting really good at that? Empowering your team at work and at home. So you have a home team and a work team. And then embodying your legacy. So that means really making a powerful impact with lasting influence in your world. And I really believe, Anne, you are already doing that in an incredible way. The young women that are on the screen at the moment are just a testimony to the incredible work that you're doing. And both to Zichin and Shalaija, I can see how you guys are already making a lasting impact through creating business, being entrepreneurs, changing people's lives financially, speaking on stage, learning English, stepping out of your comfort zone and doing something that you might not always do, but that is so inspiring. So thank you so much. So as we close, I would love to hear from you, just like final thoughts on, women in leadership. What advice or what words would you share to women as we, move forward in leadership? Let's start with the youngest.
Okay.
Your words of wisdom.
Personally, I believe that no matter who you are, what age, what gender, it doesn't matter. You can achieve anything you put your mind to. As long as we don't put limits to our capabilities, we can allow our minds to soar, and the possibilities are endless.
Thank you. And Sachin.
For me, actually, is believe in yourself and do whatever you like what I said just now. Turn what you like into a business. Actually, what is important to turn things that you like into a business is because you will keep on doing it just because you like it. If you don't like it, you will never have the motivation to do it. I actually remembered this through years, and I learned this in my secondary school. And I always tell people this to motivate them to do business. And I do hope you guys act and I do hope I can help you guys by saying this. Yeah.
Definitely very, very helpful. And Anne.
Yeah. One is embody abundance, right? Because
Mm.
there is just this too much. A lot of people think that the world is scarce, but wealth is created from abundance. If you can see the world and see everything around you as abundant, that means it's not just one person who can create wealth for themselves or have a great life and it's as many of us, if we want it, it is there for us to take on, all right, or to have. That's one. And in order to avoid the scarcity is about our belief system, and the languaging, because it is not either or, particularly when people say, it's better to be healthy than wealthy. I think that right there is a very disempowering idea. That means you are saying that I'm guaranteed health if I'm poor, you know, because illness is a human condition, right? It's just what we go through, whether we are rich, poor, or middle class, So by just that kind of belief system alone, it can create a lot of problems. So especially amongst women, it's like you have to either take care of your family or get a job, and it's either or earn or get an income, right? Or if you choose to focus on both, you're gonna fail. But that's not true. In life, we have to do both and have to do it well, do them well. And the thing is, we can't choose to have both. So I find this whole idea of choosing one or the other is very, very disempowering. And you can have happiness right there as well. And why not have health as well? Who says we cannot have all four, right? Friends, put a fifth one in. Friends, put it in. Because if you can see that you can have all of them together, you can work towards it, but it doesn't require 5 times the effort. It's just who you are, and that's it. You can have them all. I mean, I'm not saying that the life is all hunky dory. No, it's not easy, but it's not easy even if you do choose one. Just something to think about, to put it out there. Okay.
Thank you, Anne. I think what I took away from what all of you have shared is, don't stand in your own way. That sometimes the stories that we hear, the thoughts that we tell ourselves, we become our own limitations and obstacles. And really, it's surrounding yourself with other people that are on that journey, other people who have that mindset of growth, that mindset of you can design the life that you want. And I feel like I'm surrounded by those women this evening, the women who are going out and doing that. So thank you once again for being here, for celebrating International Day of the Girl together. I really do feel like it has been an hour well spent celebrating the achievements and the potential of girls, that your stories are just a small snapshot of the incredible power of women and girls out in the world every day, doing things, changing the status quo, starting businesses, creating opportunities for others, and inspiring the people around them through not just their words, but the demonstration of that. So thank you so much for being here, for helping us to help other women to reawaken the girl within, to learn to own their voice, to learn to stand in their power, and to pursue their dreams. Thank you so much for being here, ladies.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having us.
you.
For having us.
Thank you. And with that, we will call it a night. And I appreciate every single one of you being here and being at the conference. Thank you.